Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We're now at May 11th, a Monday, May 11th, and all new series are beginning. All the series are going to take place on the East Coast or as close to the East Coast as possible. I believe Detroit is the furthest west. Detroit and Cleveland are the first two western cities that are hosting these series. So all the teams from California and Washington are going to be on the East Coast. And first game number 206 on the replay, will be the Baltimore Orioles hosting the Minnesota Twins. It'll be Scott McGregor, a left-hander, 2-4, against Bert Blyleven, a right-hander, 3-4. Orioles and the Twins enter the game with identical 13-17 records. From Memorial Stadium, home runs are 1-11 for lefties and righties. Singles are 1-3 lefties and righties. So hope you guys are having a nice Tuesday wherever you are. Sneaking a lunchtime game in between Uncle Ron. He did his game yesterday. He's doing a game tomorrow. So I'm sneaking one in on the day that he doesn't play. So we're not crossing over there. And we'll get the information for you for the first pitcher of the game and batter of the game. McGregor is 2-4 with a 5.85 earned run average, 32 innings pitched, 33 hits, 13 walks, and 23 strikeouts. And leading things off for the Twins at shortstop, giving Gagne another day off, is Al Newman. Switch hitter, can play all kinds of positions, playing shortstop today. He's hitting .250 on the replay. No homers, 6 driven in 76 at-bats. He had .221 real world. Hello, Midlife. Hello, Jeremy. And hello, Colin. Oh, yeah, because July 1st, I guess, is Canada Day. It's also Bobby Bonilla Day, if you're familiar with that. Bobby Bonilla gets his $1 million check today. Every July 1st, he gets $1 million. So I'm sure the Mets are very proud of that contract. It doesn't suck to be Bobby Bonilla. Let's put it that way. All right, here is Newman. Get a 4-9. Switch hitter batting right-handed against McGregor, and that's a single to center field. Base hit for Newman, and of course we got the Baltimore Oriole colored dice. Let me fix this thing on the computer real quickly so I can get that in there. And we'll see if Newman can get a lead. Hold ratings. McGregor is a -1 combined with Kennedy. Blyleven's a +4, so it might be giving the Orioles a better break, but the Twins are going to see what they can do. It's a -1. So if he got the lead, it'd be a 1-12, 60% chance. That's a good enough chance to take. Hello, Kenyon. Good to see you. All right, so he needs a 2 through 8, a 10, or a, well, he doesn't need a 9. 9, he gets caught automatically. But a 2 through 8 or a 10. That's a 7. He gets the lead. So it's a 15. Being held at 13, the -1's a 12. 1-12, Newman will steal it. And let's check Newman's numbers really quickly on the base paths. He stole 15 real world. He's had 6 so far. He's going for stolen base number 7 on a 1-12. And it's a 1. He's in there. It's a possible throwing error on Kennedy. His T rating is a 2. That's a 3. Boy, he barely escaped not chucking one into the outfield. But it's a stolen base for Newman. 7th stolen base of the season for Mr. Newman. And he's at second base with nobody out. And that brings up Dan Mann from Gladden, a left fielder. Gladden hitting .246, 3 homers, 8 driven in. He had .249 real world. Nothing on the havoc roll. 1-6 against the left-hander as they fly to center. That is out number 1. 1 down, and that's going to bring up Kirby Puckett, center fielder. Puckett hitting .312 on the replay. 4 homers, 11 driven in. He had .332 real world. It's It's a 312 against the lefty. That's a line out to third. Max, Lomax is going to be they're going to double off Newman of second base, and it will be a possible injury chance for Puckett as well. So Puckett lines it to Ray Knight at third. Knight will fire to Wiggins at second to complete a double play as they kept Newman off the base paths. It was hit so hard, Newman had no chance to get back. So it's going to go 5 and then 5 to 4 for the double play to end the inning. More importantly for the Twins, Puckett is going to be susceptible to an injury. 1 to 4, he stays in the game. 5 or higher, he is out. He stays in the game, so Puckett will stay in the game, but the double play certainly took care of business here in the top of the first. But for Twins fans, at least it keeps Kirby in the game. He did not have to exit. So they'll bring up the Orioles in the bottom of the first with Bert Blyleven on the mound. Blyleven on the replay is 3-4 with an ERA of 6.75. He had a 4.01 in real world, so he's really been struggling. 47 innings pitched, 41 hits. That's not too bad. 28 walks isn't very good, though. 38 strikeouts and 10 home runs he's allowed in 47 innings. He gave up 46 home runs in the season, so definitely prone to the gopher ball, no question about it. And with a 1-11 ballpark blast, that could give him trouble as well. So Alan Wiggins will lead off for the Orioles, second baseman. He's hitting 204 on the replay, a homer and 7 driven in. He hit 232 real world. So 6-9, switch it back left, and that's a ground ball to second, and Lombardozzi will take care of Wiggins. And there's one away. For Lee Lacy, the right fielder, Lacy hitting 250 on the replay, just 28 at bats, 7 of 28. A homer and 3 driven in. He had 244 real world. 5-4 to the righty. That's an in-home run chance, 1 to 10, but that's a 16. So he caught a break. It's only going to be a double. Almost gave up his 11th gopher ball, but Lacy will settle in with the double, 1-out double. And here's Cal Ripken, along with Brooks Robinson, probably the two Mr. Orioles, the two most famous Orioles probably of all time. Maybe throw Eddie Murray in there or Jim Palmer. I think Ripken and Robinson probably the two that stand out. How would you like seeing those two together in their prime playing short and third? That would have been something. All right, Ripken hitting 246, 4 homers, 15 driven in. He had 252 real world. Lacy not being held at second. 3-5, and 3-5 on Ripken is a ground ball to third. That's going to freeze Lacy at second as Gaetti makes the play. Lacy will hold up, and there's now 2 away, and it's up to Eddie Murray. Clutch situation for Murray. And something didn't go right on my computer. Let me see what I did here. I thought I gave Lacy a double, but apparently I did not. Oh, I did give him a double. So why is it showing? Did I accidentally call him out? I think I gave Lacy, saying Lacy was out instead of staying on the base. That's what screwed me up. All right, so now we're straight. Lacy's at second, 2 down for Eddie Murray, first baseman. First baseman on the replay hitting 365, 8 homers, 23 driven in at 277 real world. So he's been off to a torrid start. Blyleven to Murray. First base is open. They're going to pitch to him. 5-9. And he struck him out, so it paid off to pitch to him. Blyleven didn't think anything otherwise. And he took care of Murray, and that's going to end the first. No score after 1 from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. McGregor back out. And he'll be facing the G-man, Gary Gaetti. Gaetti on the replay is hitting 266. 6 homers, 26 driven in. He had 257 in real world. 6-6 against the right-hander is a split chance. One's a single, and else he lines to short. He will line it to Ripken. And there's one away. Gaetti is retired. Here's Kent Herbeck. Herbeck on the replay is hitting 300. 10 homers, 26 driven in. 285 he hit in real world. But he does have trouble against lefties. His average against lefties is under 200. So 300 hitter, but not against lefties. 6-10. Ballpark single check, 1-3. That's a 16. That'll be a fly to center. And Freddie Lynn will take it in. 2 down. And that brings up Tom Brunansky, the designated hitter. Bruno hitting 271 on the replay. 3 homers, 10 driven in. He hit 259 real world. 112, and that's a fly to center. And again, Fred Lynn hauls it in. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Scott McGregor. And the Twins come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Freddie Lynn. Leads things off for the O's. He's hitting 196 on the replay. 7 homers, 17 driven in. Hit 253 real world. A little bit of struggling going on. 5'11". Ground ball pitcher X right to Blyleven. He's a 2E21. See if he gets to this. 2 and a 1. Boy, that double die come up bad again. Telling you that double die is evil. So it's going to be a base hit. 2 and a 1 is a single. E21, he's got to avoid 7, 11, 13, 14, 17, and 18. That is a 16, and he was an E21. Amazingly, there's no 16. There's 11, 13, 14, 17, 18, but no 16. So it won't be an error, but it will be a base hit for Freddie Lynn as the evil D20 strikes again. Lynn will have to be held. If not, he would get the lead automatically. Now, he is thrown out or caught stealing 7-10. Gets the lead 2 through 6 or a 12. But if he can get the lead, he got that +4 sitting there. So they're going to try to get the lead with Fred Lynn and hope he avoids the 7 through 10. And he does with a 5, so he gets the lead. He's a 15, being held is a 13, but the +4 is a 17. 1-17, and Freddie Lynn's going. And he's in there. It's a possible throwing error on Nieto. His T rating's a 2. No throwing error, but it's a stolen base for Fred Lynn. You don't think of him much of a stealer, but he certainly did on that instance right there. Freddie Lynn steals a base. How about that? And for Fred Lynn, that is his first stolen base of the season. He only had 3 all season. He gets 1 right there, but that's the kind of time you get to steal with Fred Lynn when you get a bad pitcher-hold-catcher combination. That allows Freddie Lynn to steal his first base of the season. It also avoids a double play, which Ray Knight is susceptible to hitting into. Knight hitting 260, 4 homers, 11 driven in. Blyleven. 6-7, and that's a strikeout. Second strikeout of the game for Blyleven. Dispatches Ray Knight, 2 down. For catcher Terry Kennedy. Kennedy on the replay hitting 271, 10 homers, 23 driven in. And he hit 250 real world. Here's Blyleven to Kennedy. 6-3. Ground ball first base X. We're looking at Herbeck. He's a 2E6. 2E6. Nobody's being held, so no. He keeps his number 2. Double dies low again with a 6, but he might get away with it. 2 and a 6 is a G2, but it means to the right side. That means the runner's going to get to third. So Lynn will take third on the ground out, but now we're checking for an error. He is an E6. Has to avoid 3-13, and 18. 12, he barely does, but it's going to be a 3-1 ground out as Herbeck ranges over to get it, flips to Blyleven covering for out number 2. Going to third is Freddie Lynn. He's at third with 2 down for the left fielder, Jim Dwyer. Dwyer hitting 380 on the replay and 50 at bats, 5 homers, 10 driven in. He hit 274 real world. Blyleven to Dwyer. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Blyleven gets him out of the jam, and the Orioles come away empty-handed. We played 2 at Memorial Stadium, and we got no score. Twins and O's. First game on the May 11th docket, game number 206 on the season replay. Well, Kenyon, if you want to get some of these, if you want to match some of these steal chances on the card, I mean, the final stats. I mean, Fred Lynn had 3 steals. If I never steal with him, how can he get his 3 steals? I mean, you got to try. I mean, I try to be judicious about it and not be silly. But when you get a good opportunity, to me, you got to take it. That's just me. All right, here's Mark Davidson. Davidson hitting .233, a homer 4 driven in. He hit .267 real world. 4-5, right-handed is a fly to right field. And Lee Lacy will haul that in. 1 away. And here's Lombardozzi, second baseman. He hits .263 on the replay, 2 homers, 9 driven in. He hit .238 real world. 5-9 against the right-hander. That's a 1-3 triple. Anything else is a double. So that'll be a double for Mr. Lombardozzi. A 1-out double. Twins are in business. Number 9 hitter Tom Nieto, the catcher. .268 on the replay, a homer and 4 driven in. He only hit .200 real world. So he's done better than what you would expect. 3-4, and that's a ground ball to short, and that'll freeze Lombardozzi at second base. As Ripken looks him back, throws to first. And there's 2 away. Bringing up the top of the order now, Newman. He singled, stole a base first time up, and then got doubled off on a line drive. He's up now in a clutch situation against the lefty McGregor. He gains a hit on 110 in the clutch. And he also gains a hit on 3-2 in the clutch. So 2 bonus hits in the clutch for Newman if he can find them. 2-3, but he finds a strikeout instead, and that's going to end the inning. First strikeout for McGregor. But it does end a scoring chance for the Twins. The lone double by Lombardozzi goes for naught. We go to the bottom of the third, no score. Blyleven back out. He'll be facing number 9 hitter, designated hitter Larry Sheets. Sheets hitting .210 on the replay, 4 homers, 10 driven in. He hit .316 real world, so he really has not picked it up yet. He's had 62 at bats. He gets .469 in real world, but he's got 400 more bats coming, but he's really got to pick it up. He's 100 points below his average. 4-11, maybe Blyleven gets right off of him, but not on this at bat. He strikes out. Strikeout number 4 for Blyleven. Sheets is retired. We'll flip the order to Alan Wiggins. .69 and switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball to second. Wiggins will ground to Lombardozzi for the second time. 2 up and 2 down. And Lee Lacy. 4-5, and that is a pop out to Lombardozzi. And it's a very easy inning for Bert Blyleven. At the end of 3, we got nothing going on here, no score. Both pitchers on their game, keeping the opponent at bay. Orioles had Lynn get to third. That's the closest they've come to scoring. Twins have had 2 runners on second, but neither one came around to score. Neither one of them got to third. All right, here is Dan Gladden to lead things off. 3-5, and that's a pop-up to Ray Knight at third base. 1 away. And brings up Puckett, who almost got injured in the first inning, but managed to stay in the game. 6-9, and he's going to fly it to center. Fred Lynn is there. 2 down. Or G-Man, Gary Gaetti. 1-7, and that is a 1-10 home run, but that's an 18, so it's just going to be a deep fly to left that Dwyer puts away. And McGregor got away with one right there. Almost put the Twins in front, but almost doesn't count. We go to the bottom of the 4th. No score. Blyleven back out. And he'll be facing Ripken, Murray, and Lynn. Heart of the order for the Orioles. 2-4 for Ripken. He's going to line it right to the shortstop Newman for 1 away. 1 down for Murray. Struck out his first chance. 2-6, and he's going to get a 1-2 single or 3 or higher. He lines to Lombardozzi, and that's what he does. Lining to Lombardozzi for 2 down. And here's Lynn. He singled, stole second, got to third, but was stranded there his first time up. 6-10 to the lefty. Ground ball third base X. That's Gaetti. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it with the 1. We're checking the E12. E12 and a 7 for a third baseman. E12 and a 7. E12, there's a 12 and a 16, but no 7, so it's good play for Gaetti. And the Orioles go quietly in their half of the 4th. We go to the 5th, no score. Here on a Tuesday afternoon in Baltimore. First game of the May 11th block. McGregor, he has a 5 for fatigue, so this is his fatigue inning beginning. Keep an eye on that. It'll be Herbeck, Brunansky, and Davidson. But McGregor is now subject to fatigue beginning with this at bat. 6-12, that's a ground ball first base C. Murray will field it and flip to McGregor covering. And Herbeck is out of there. 1 down, and here's the DH, Brunansky. 5-3, and that's another ground ball first base C. Once again, Murray will field it and flip to McGregor covering. 2 down, playing Pepper with Eddie Murray over there. Here's Davidson. 1-7 to the left-hander is a base hit, so Davidson gets himself a 2-out single. 2 through 5, he will get the lead, and he's got a 19 if he can get the lead, so it's definitely worth the risk. 6, he cannot get the lead, but a 1 means he might get picked off. His secondary lead is a 13, so 1 to 13 he gets back. 14 or higher, he is picked off. Oh, it was almost a 14. They almost had him, and in fact, Cal Ripken Sr. is protesting. And so is Eddie Murray. They swore they had him picked off, but umpire says, no, you didn't. But now Davidson can't establish a good lead. He has to hold, and here's Lombardozzi. 4-6, and that is going to be a walk. So maybe it distracted McGregor a little bit. McGregor thinking he had the pickoff, and he did not. And now 2 on, 2 out for Tom Nieto, the catcher. Clutch situation. Nieto against the lefties gets 2 hits on a 2-8 and a 2-10 and a 3-5. So 3 different places he gains hits in the clutch. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. Looking at the balk rating on McGregor, his balk rating is a 19, so pretty much it's going to be a balk. I think that's pretty much guaranteed. So McGregor with the balk, and that'll move both runners into scoring position. That's huge because now a base hit can score 2 runs. Back the way Lombardozzi runs, it's almost unless you get a single 1 star, it's almost guaranteed to score 2 runs. So McGregor to Nieto. 1-6, and that's a double to right field. That'll score those 2 runs. Might have been questionable without the balk, but with the balk, the 2 runs are guaranteed. And the Twins lead it 2-0. And I'm telling you what, McGregor is now tired, but it's all going back to thinking they had picked off Davidson. That just threw McGregor off completely. Ripken's going to try to get him through the inning. He is tired, but they're going to try to get him through the inning, get that last out against Newman. 1-3, ballpark single check, 1-3. That's a 12, so he will line it to set to a shortstop to end the inning. Ripken makes the catch, but 2 runs for the Twins. And that's going to be it for McGregor. His day is done. And the Orioles will go to their bullpen the rest of the game. So McGregor goes 5 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs. And let's see, he walked just the 1. He walked Lombardozzi. And he struck out just the 1. He struck out Newman. That was it. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then the Orioles will have to figure out who the new pitcher is going to be. Looks like it's going to be Ken Dixon. He's the long man out of the bullpen. So Ken Dixon will come on for the Orioles. He's a He was a starter. Now he's in the bullpen. I think later in the season he goes back to starting again. But right now he's in long relief. So Ken Dixon will take over in the 6th inning for the Orioles. Right now, Blyleven's been given a 2-0 lead to work with. And he'll be facing Ray Knight, Terry Kennedy, and Jim Dwyer. Ray Knight, Terry Kennedy, and Jim Dwyer here in the bottom of the 5th. 6-5, and that's a fly to center. Puckett will make the grab. 1 down. And that'll take us to Terry Kennedy. Kennedy grounded out to Herbeck, his first chance. 2-3, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-3. That's a 6. So just going to be a liner to Lombardozzi at second. Quickly 2 away for Jim Dwyer. Struck out his first chance. 2-3, and that's another ballpark single check. Again, 1-3. The singles just aren't coming. And that is a fly out to Davidson in right field. 1-2-3 inning. So what they call the shutdown inning for Blyleven, as he puts the O's back on the field and puts his team back in the dugout. It's 2-0. We go to the 6th here from Memorial Stadium. And the new pitcher is going to be Ken Dixon. We will bring him in on the computer and get his numbers for you. Ken Dixon, well rested if nothing else. Dixon is 1-2, no saves, an ERA of 6.35. He has 6.43 real world. 28 innings pitched, 38 hits, 8 walks, 24 strikeouts. He has given up 10 home runs in 28 innings of pitching. In real world, he gave up 31 home runs in 105 innings of pitching. So he's even more susceptible to the long ball than Blyleven is. You see his card is loaded with diamond shots. So that 1-11 at Memorial Stadium might get him. We'll see. Here's Dan Gladden to lead it off. 3-6, and that's a ground ball to Ripken. Good start for Dixon anyway. Needs to keep the ball on the ground. Here's Puckett. 2-7, struck him out. So Dixon off to a good start. Here's Gaetti. He's 0 for 2. That was against McGregor, of course. 2-4, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-3. Again, it's going to be a pop-up to Wiggins. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Ken Dixon. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-0 Twins. The Tom Nieto 2-run double. The only runs of the game, but that all was predicated when they thought they had picked off Davidson that would have ended the inning. But the umpire called him safe, and then a balk followed, and then a walk followed, then a balk followed, and then the double brought in those 2 runs. So here's Larry Sheets, number 9 hitter, designated hitter. Struck out his first chance. 1-8, and that's a double. 1-8, single 9-20. That's a 13. So a base hit for Larry Sheets. He will not be held. And here comes Alan Wiggins. He's an A bunter, but you're down by 2, so probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to bunt here. But he's such a bad hitter, though. So 200 hitter, you might want to make his out worth something. So they're going to go ahead and bunt. I don't like to bunt very much, but I think with a weak hitter, it's almost a thing where you have to bunt. He becomes a B bunter because the Twins sent something that brought the corners in. So he's a B bunter. The bunt is going to be fielded by the third baseman, Gaetti. And now, a B bunter just basically needs a 9 or less to have a good bunt. That's a 3, so it's a good sacrifice. It'll go 5-4 if you're scoring at home, and you should be. As Gaetti throws over to Lombardozzi covering first base after Herbeck had charged. And Sheets will take second base. So at least it's a productive out. Don't like giving up outs, but when the guy's going to probably make an out on his own anyway, at least advance a base on it. So the runners in hello Triple G. So Lacey is up with Sheets now at second base and 1 out. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a balk chance, but Blyleven has 0 balk rating. So we go to Lacey. 1 for 2. 5-5 is a double to center field, and that'll produce the run. I don't think Sheets would have scored from first on his own because he doesn't run that well. He only runs at a 9, but the double guarantees he scores there. So the Orioles played for 1 run, and they got 1 run, and they're still looking for more. Lee Lacey is second double of the game. Cuts the lead to 2-1. And here's Cal Ripken. 1-6 for Ripken. Ground ball to short. That's going to freeze Lacey right there. 2 down now for Eddie Murray. First base is open. Last time they pitched to him with Lacey at second, they struck him out. Do they feel this lucky again? They are. Blyleven says, let me at him. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch, and Blyleven's a 10 wild pitch rating. Will not be a wild pitch. Nieto was able to block it. The pitch to Murray, 4-8, and that's a strikeout. He did it again. So he faced Murray with first base open and struck him out again. Blyleven feeling his oats right there. However, the double from Lee Lacey does cut the lead to 2-1. We go to the 7th. It's Twins 2, Orioles 1. Top of the 7th, Ken Dixon is second inning of relief in back of McGregor. He'll be facing Herbeck, Brunansky, and Davidson. Those are the scheduled hitters. Dixon went 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 6th. 4-9, and he strikes out Herbeck. Boy, he's just pitching well here as Mr. Dixon. Must have had his Wheaties. That brings up Brunansky, who's 0 for 2. 6-6, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-13, and that's gone. As soon as I say something about Dixon, he gives up a home run. He is susceptible to the gopher ball, and there it is. 1-13 is a home run. That's an 11. And you know Brunansky has normal power. So Tom Brunansky just gave the Twins their 2-run lead back as he just poked one out of Memorial Stadium. Home run number 4 for Brunansky, RBI number 11. Twins lead at 3-1. And that'll bring up Davidson, the right fielder. 1-5, and that's a 1 home run, but everything else is a deep fly to left, so Dwyer will haul it in. 2 down. And that will send up Lombardozzi. That's a 5-11 right-hander. That's a ballpark blast, but Lombardozzi does have normal power. It's 1-11, but that's a 20. So this time Dixon catches a break. The D20 was in his favor. Keeps Lombardozzi from hitting a home run. But it didn't keep Brunansky from hitting one. And it's 3-1 Twins as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And this is the fatigue inning for Bert Blyleven. He does have a number 7 right there. So got to be cognizant of that. Due up for the Orioles, Lynn, Knight, and Kennedy for the O's. We are in the 7th inning, so that means substitutions are certainly in play. Hello, Jimmy Jam. But we're in not only just the 7th inning, but we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And, of course, that means take me out to the ball game. So enjoy that while I go heat my coffee. All right, we are back for the bottom of the 7th. And due up is Fred Lynn. My coffee has been reheated in the microwave, so now I can drink it again. I don't like drinking lukewarm coffee. This is McDonald's breakfast blend. I love McCafe breakfast blend. Brews up very nicely. All right, bottom of the 7th, Freddie Lynn. And this is the fatigue inning for Blyleven. Don't forget that. 2-3 for Lynn is a ground ball to Gaetti. And there's one away. Retirement is going well. It's hard to believe it's been 3 weeks that it's but yeah, I mean, the time is flying. I mean, it's been a fast, the month of June has just flown by because my last day was June 6th, and it's hard to believe it's July 1st already. The time just flies by. People were wondering if I was going to get bored or whatever. I've never been bored. If I'm not playing games, then I've got other things to do around the house and in the yard. Well, last week was too hot. It was every day was in the hundreds on the heat index. So I wasn't dare going to go out there and have a heart attack. So, but maybe next week it'll start cooling down back to normal temperatures in the 80s, and we might have a chance to do something, especially in the mornings. But even the mornings, the last week, the mornings were like in the 8 a.m. was like 80 degrees and 90% humidity. I wasn't going to go out there and kill myself. So here's Ray Knight. 4-3 ground ball first base X. We're looking at Herbeck. He's a 2E6. 2 and a 14. He'll get to it. E6 for a first baseman. E6, and that is a 9. Should be okay with that. E6, 313 and 18 of the air is not a 9, so it's good play. Herbeck will field it and flip to Blyleven covering. That is out number 2. And that will send up Kennedy. Terry Kennedy, 0 for 2. For 7, and that is a walk. So it's a 2-out walk to Kennedy. It does bring up the tying run to the plate and Jim Dwyer. So Kennedy not going to go anywhere. Jim Dwyer. Dwyer's 0 for 2. But 1 long ball, and we got a tie game, so Blyleven has to be careful. That's a 4-11, but that's a strikeout, a huge strikeout for Blyleven. And for Blyleven, that is strikeout number 6. And it's a pretty much a shutdown inning for Blyleven here in the 7th. We go to the 8th. Score is 3-1 Twins. Dixon will be coming back out, and he'll be facing Nieto, who had that big double back in the 6th, and then Newman and Gladden after that. See how we're doing on the, make sure I'm not running out of the pages here. No, it looks like you still see the corner. You can see, it looks like on the computer it shows all the way to the end of the paper, so I think we're okay leaving them here without moving them around. So we will move on forward. Here is Nieto. 2-7 for Nieto, struck him out. Nieto out on strikes. 1 away, and there's Al Newman. That's a 2-8 for Newman, and he's going to pop it up to Ripken at short. 2 down. So if nothing else, Ken Dixon is saving the Oriole bullpen for the rest of the series, giving them a chance to rest up. Here's Gladden. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. So, boy, Dixon pitching really well. He's pitched 3 innings, only allowed 1 run. Not bad at all for a guy who came into the game with an ERA over 6. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. Blyleven only gave up a walk, so he's still good on his fatigue. It'll be Sheets, Wiggins, and Lacey, unless they decide to pinch hit. And for the Orioles, if they decide to pinch hit, this is who they have available. They are all right-handed hitters: Ken Gerhart, Rick Burleson, Rene Gonzalez, Dave Van Gorder, and Nelson Simmons. Those are the bench players for the Orioles that are available on their roster. All the lefties have been used in the lineup. So that's going to bring up Sheets to lead off the bottom of the 8th. 3-10 for Sheets. It's a fly ball center field. One away. Flips it over to Wiggins now. Wiggins is 1 for 4. I believe they will pinch hit for Wiggins, despite him being a switch hitter. I just think they need to pinch hit for him and try to get some offense in the lineup. And they will go with Ken Gerhardt. So Ken Gerhardt will hit for Wiggins, and then Rene Gonzalez will come in and play second base in the top of the 9th. So Ken Gerhardt, a pinch hit for Wiggins here in the 8th, and then Gonzalez will play second base in the 9th. All right, so Ken Gerhardt, let's get his numbers on the replay. Wiggins goes 0 for 3. I'm sorry, 0 for 2. He had a sacrifice bunt. So. But definitely, if you're going to pinch hit for anybody, he's the guy you want to pinch hit for. So Gerhardt comes into the replay hitting .220. 6 homers, 14 driven in at .243 real world. 6'4", and that's a catcher X. So we're going to Nieto. He's a 2E1. 2 and a 4, but nobody's on base, so there's not going to be any wild pitches or pass balls or anything like that. So 2 and a 4 should be okay, I would think, for a catcher. 2 and a 4 is a W/G. Should be a ground out here. E1, the only error is a 17. And there is no 17, so a W/G. Just says with runners on, it's a wild pitch, but no runners are on. So catcher, a little ground ball in front of the plate, and he throws Gerhardt out 2-3. 2 down. Gonzalez will take over at second base in the 9th. So 2 down, and Lee Lacy, the batter. Blyleven keeping his full complement of fatigue, although Jeff Reardon will be ready in the 9th if they need him. Here's Lee Lacy. 4-5, and that's a pop out to second base. Lombardozzi is there, and that's going to do it. So we go to the 9th, and we'll need to put in Gonzalez to play second base. Now the question is, do they bring back Dixon for a 4th inning, or do they go maybe to one of their other pitchers that has a fresher arm? Twins will be bringing up Puckett, Gaetti, and Herbeck, heart of the order. Dixon struck 2 of them out. That's going to be a tough call to see if they want to bring back Dixon or not. I think the way he's pitched, he at least deserves a chance to start the inning. They don't really have any lefties in the bullpen. They got one guy I've never heard of before who's not very good. This guy, Mike Kinnunen. They have right-handers Tony Arnold, Dave Schmidt, and Mark Williamson in their bullpen. But I think they're going to stick with, I think they're going to give Dixon a chance. Why not? Pitched 3 innings, only giving up 1 run. So we'll give him a chance here to face Lacy. I'm sorry, to face Puckett. Puckett is 0 for 3. Oh, we got hop and dice. Let's re-roll that. 2-5 for Puckett, and it's a ground ball to Ripken at short. 1 away. So 1 down, and here is Gaetti. Gaetti is also 0 for 3. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Twins are combined 0 for 10 right now. 4-9, and that's a strikeout for Dixon. Boy, 4-8 would have been a home run, but 4-9's a strikeout. And that brings up Herbeck. He's a little dangerous against the righties, so let's be careful with him. 6-7, and that's a 1-6 single. And he lines to second. That's a line out to second. And boy, Ken Dixon, kudos to Ken Dixon. 4 innings of relief, only allowing 1 run. For him, that is amazing. Amazing stuff. Keeps his team in the game. Did give up the home run to Bernansky, but considering he goes 4 innings, only gives up 1 run, I'd say it's pretty good. In fact, that's the only hit he gave up was the home run. And he struck out 4 without walking anybody. I mean, to me, that's a stellar performance for Ken Dixon. And the Twins have a 3-1 lead as they go to the bottom of the 9th. And Tom Kelly has made the decision to shake Blyleven's hand, say you had a great game, but we're going to bring in Mr. Reardon to try to close it out. So Jeff Reardon will be coming on to try to save the ball game for the Twins. He is their closer. He's going to face the heart of the order, Murray, Ripken, and Lynn. So it won't be easy. It's going to be one of these Ringo Starr won't, it ain't easy games. It don't come easy. So Reardon will be facing Ripken, Murray, and Lynn. On the replay, Reardon is 1-1 with 5 saves, a 2.63 earned run average, 14 innings pitched, 10 hits, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. And we'll get the numbers on Blyleven to finish him out. So the karma of the thumbnail really worked for Blyleven today, for sure. No question about it. Blyleven's going to go 8 innings, give up just 4 hits and a run, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. So stellar performance for Blyleven. He is the player of the game, assuming the Twins hold on and win. No question, he is the player of the game. All right, so it's down to this 3-1 ball game, and Ripken, Murray, and Lynn stand in the way of Jeff Reardon getting his 6th save. 2-5, and that's a ground ball to Gaetti at third. 1 down. Brings up Eddie Murray. He has had a rough game. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. That's a 6-9, switch hitter batting left. It's a ground ball to second. Lombardozzi is there. 2 down. It's all up to Freddie Lynn. Orioles bats have been pretty much quiet the whole game. Sheet single and a Lacey double in the 6th. That was it. Only runs they've been able to put across the plate. Last chance is Fred Lynn. 6-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Al Newman. He's a 3-E-12. 3-1. You just knew the double dive was going to be bad. That's a base hit. Checking the E12 for a shortstop. That's an 8. E12. There is no 8, but the 3 and the 1 obviously is a single. So Fred Lynn singles. That brings the tying run to the plate in Ray Knight. But do you pinch hit for Ray Knight is the question. Knight's 0 for 3. Do you go with somebody that maybe can hit the long ball a little bit better? Although Knight does have 4 home runs on the replay. He hit 14 home runs real world. So I think I showed you who's on the bench, and there's just not a whole lot there. All the good lefties are already in the lineup. So I believe Ray Knight's going to have to stick it out himself. Lynn will be held, but won't go anywhere. Reardon facing Ray Knight, trying to close it out. That's a 5-8, and he struck him out, and that's the ball game. Would have been had we had a left-hander to pinch hit, it would have been a ballpark blast, but the 20 would have failed anyway. But they just didn't have any lefties on the bench to go with, so they had no choice. So Reardon comes in, gets the strikeout, and earns the save. As he goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, but nothing else. So he gets save number 6. Blyleven evens his record at 4-4. McGregor, a tough luck loss, drops to 2-5. Final line score for the Twins: 3 runs, 5 errors. For the Orioles, 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. Pretty clean pitching. Timely hitting in certain spots. And the Twins improved to 14-17 and 18. Left on base, the Orioles left 5. The Twins only left on 2. So Blyleven now 4-4, lowers his ERA to 5.93. It was well above 6 before the game started. He is the player of the game, Bert Blyleven. I don't think there's can be a whole lot of debate about that. The way he pitched 8 innings, 4 hits and a run. So Bert Blyleven is your player of the game in this one. Tough luck loss for the Orioles. He got good pitching, just noting. Jimmy Jam, yes, I was born in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm right now residing just outside of Petersburg. So it's about a half-hour drive south. But yeah, I've still got family in the area that I visit. So it's in that same central Virginia area. I have not left. The only time I lived somewhere else was the 3 years I was in the Army. I lived in Georgia. I was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia. That was the only time I did not live in Virginia. So I've been here my whole life. And I'm kind of laid back. So I wouldn't think I would have an accent. I don't know if people in Virginia have I don't think we're south enough to have an accent. Not like Georgia or somewhere like that. I think Virginia should be right in the middle of the road, so there shouldn't be much of an accent going on there, period. I wouldn't think. I don't know. Maybe if from California or something, it might look a little different. Hard to say. By the way, that game is in the book, number 206. And game 207, we flip this over. We're going to be in Yankee Stadium. Actually, I got to cross this out because I'm in Kansas City here by accident. It's actually the White Sox playing the Yankees. So let me fix that right now. When I was doing the lineups, I accidentally wrote in Kansas City, and I have no clue why, because it should be the White Sox. Next game will be the White Sox and the Yankees. Rick Rhoden against Floyd Bannister from Yankee Stadium. That will be game number 207, and that will be tonight. It's a day-night doubleheader in Strat-O-Matic. And tonight, around 8 o'clock, it'll be Chicago and the Yankees from the stadium. So he played college ball at Virginia Tech. That's about a couple hours away. But he played high school ball in the beach area, Norfolk in the beach area, which is about an hour east of me. But he played football at Virginia Tech, which is about 2 hours west of me. So Blacksburg is kind of near Roanoke and all that. It's almost near Tennessee. You get close to Tennessee out at that point. But kind of getting excited because I do enjoy minor league baseball. We've got the AA affiliate of the Giants in town. They suck this year. The stadium they're playing at is 30 years old. Actually 31 years old now, I think. But right next door to that, they're building the new stadium, CarMax Park. That will be open next year. So I'll be looking forward to going to games there as we finally get a modern type baseball stadium, not the piece of crap they got there now. So I'm looking forward to that next year, seeing some of the Giant AA guys come through. And looking forward to that. I always enjoy minor league baseball. It's affordable, and you get good seats, and it's still good baseball. I mean, it's not big leagues now, but I do enjoy the atmosphere, and it's nice to get out there once in a while. I used to have season tickets a long time ago, the Richmond Braves back in the early, but that was here. Looks like we're having a the sand kind of thing once in a while here. Let me see, are we still moving here or no? I think we got circles in the sand going here, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm not seeing my hand in front of the thing here anymore. So we're going to go ahead and call it there it is right there. It looks like it's chopping up, so we're going to go ahead and call it a game. And if you could check it out tonight at 8 o'clock, White Sox and Yankees. Until next time, enjoy whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.